Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hawks Latest, your number one source for news, updates, rumors, opinions, and you guessed it, the latest and the greatest regarding the Atlanta Hawks. I'm your host, Zach Langley, aka Langley ATL, and today we've got a loaded episode that's going to be covering a wave of front office shakeups. Some breaking news recently just dropped just yesterday. So, two intriguing prospects that the Atlanta Hawks could select at pick 13. Who actually recently worked out for the team, and a name that's just now surfaced in free agency chatter, Myles Turner. So let's jump into what could be the start of a new era in Atlanta, both in the front office and on the court. So, major news finally broke yesterday after over a month of speculation on what the Hawks are going to do in the front office. According to ESPN Shams Charania, the Hawks are currently finalizing deals to bring two respected executives into the fold. Bryson Graham from the New Orleans Pelicans and Peter Dinwiddie from the Philadelphia 76ers. Graham, who most recently served as the general manager of the New Orleans Pelicans, will become the Hawks' new senior vice president of basketball operations. It's a new role that he's going to be into, and it's going to be less of a role, but he's still going to have a major say in the front office, obviously reporting to Onzi Saleh, who is the acting GM and projected to be the GM going forward. Peter Dinwiddie, formerly with the 76ers and the Indiana Pacers, but more recently the 76ers, is going to join as a senior vice president of strategy and analytics. So we're hiring two separate guys for their own specific niche and really building like a tandem in the front office that these guys are all going to work together very well and work on their own respective fields. It's something that really could work well as we progress into the new era of Hawks basketball. Both are, like I said, are going to report directly to the newly installed GM, Onzi Saleh, who obviously took over following the letting go of Landry Fields back in mid to late April. Bryson Graham is a true NBA lifer. So he started out as an intern in New Orleans, an intern with the basketball program, and became their GM. He worked his way up through roles in video coordination, coaching, support, and eventually the front office. After 15 years with the Pelicans, he ended up becoming GM in 2023. He was there for a season, and he played a pivotal role in acquiring some under-the-radar talent through the draft in his entire tenure in New Orleans. I mean, he identified the talent of Herb Jones, in the second round, Jose Alvarado undrafted, Trey Murphy at pick 17, and Najee Marshall, and also Dyson Daniels, who the Hawks ended up obviously acquiring, all of whom have way outperformed expectations. And the most interesting piece is obviously that he was part of the front office that had really taken a look at Dyson Daniels and ended up drafting him. But identifying that talent and taking a gamble on him at pick 7 was something that really worked out. I guess not for them, but it worked out for us. And now this guy is a part of our staff to really focus on scouting, which is just awesome. And I can't wait for him to get started. Dyson won Most Improved Player, so they clearly have he clearly has an eye for talent. And Peter Dinwiddie, meanwhile, does bring a different kind of pedigree. He did spend 14 seasons with the Pacers before joining the Sixers in 2020. He's known for, his savvy in trades, roster construction, and cap strategy. He'll be a good voice in this reshaped front office, and sort of not really inexperienced, but kind of younger front office. He's going to be a critical piece in navigating Atlanta's tight salary cap situation. Obviously, with the mid-level exception, Atlanta can only spend 12.8 million in free agency this upcoming offseason, and it's unclear whether they even will use any of that. So, I mean, this front office reset is aimed at establishing a long-term synergy with Saleh at the helm, and then obviously these two seasoned executives, just flanking them. The Hawks seem to be aligned with their decision-making processes and setting a clearer vision for the years ahead. Moving forward as we, look to contend in the future. So let's shift from the front office to the hardwood. Two draft prospects, Asa Newell and Jace Richardson, were actually in Atlanta just yesterday for pre-draft workouts. We're going to start with Newell, who's obviously been generating a lot of intrigue ahead of the draft. He was the more coveted prospect entering this draft process. And it's good to see that the Hawks are actually starting to prioritize pick 13 because until then, I mean, these are the first prospects that Atlanta has brought in that's really projected to, be in the lottery pick range. Obviously, maybe they're a little on the lower end of the lottery, which is where we are, or even out of the lottery, but they're definitely the highest level prospects Atlanta's brought in. So Newell is a 6'11", one and done big man out of Georgia, played locally, who brings athleticism and versatility, and would be obviously a pretty good fit with the Atlanta Hawks. Though he did primarily play center at college, many scouts believe his future in the NBA could be kind of a hybrid big, but mostly at the four, just due to his overall skill set. I mean, he has center size, but it doesn't really prove to be that kind of guy in the NBA. I mean, he averaged 15 points a game, primarily operating in the paint where he showed excellent touch around the rim and finished lobs with ease, something that obviously would fit well in Atlanta, obviously with Trae Young running the show. The best lob passer and one of the best lob passers in league history. I mean, he's mobile. He can run the floor like a wing. He's even flashed some ball handling ability, which is something that could really open up Atlanta's offense. I mean, having a big man that can handle the rock like that. I mean, obviously Jalen Johnson, but when you have a guy who like most of his college tenure played center, and then he's able to handle the ball and bring the ball up the floor and set up offense. Like that is a huge upgrade compared to what we've had in recent years. I mean, those traits, make him a great fit in transition heavy offenses in the NBA, such as the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, his 3-point shot does remain a little bit of a work in progress. I mean, he shot under 30% in his freshman season with Georgia. That said, the willingness to shoot is a great sign. The form looks good, and him improving into a league average 3-point shooter or even higher isn't out of the question at all. So that would drastically improve his fit in today's spacing driven league. And it's something that I do think is there and is promising for the future. Now, defensively, Newell does bring solid instincts as a rim protector and help defender. He only averaged one block a game, but that's fine. His impact goes beyond stats. His lateral movement also allows him to switch onto the perimeter, which is obviously a must in modern NBA defenses when we see guys like Chet Holmgren, and even really Myles Turner. Both teams in the finals right now are, they have bigs who can have that versatility on both ends, and it's really improving their game on both ends. So where he really needs to grow is obviously his passing and physicality. He struggles a little bit as a decision maker out of the short roll and can get pushed around by stronger, more traditional bigs. But in this modern NBA, he could be a good fit. That's why most people do project him as a 4 more than a 5, just because he doesn't really have the physicality to play down low in the NBA. However, he could be effective in other ways. I mean, with the Hawks holding picks 13 and 22, and Newell's expected to go somewhere within the late lottery to, early 20s range. I mean, it's fallen a little bit since, he was projected high lottery, and then now he's projected low lottery to, mid to late draft. So you really don't know where he's going to go, but Atlanta, regardless, will have a real shot at him if they want him. I mean, his combination of rim running, defensive versatility, and potential floor spacing would be a strong fit next to Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, and the rest of the crew. So now we're going to move on to the other guy that the Atlanta Hawks brought in for a pre-draft workout just yesterday, Jace Richardson, son of former NBA slam dunk champion Jason Richardson. Now, at first glance, Jace is undersized at 6'1", and under 180 pounds. I mean, very small. But don't let that fool you, because he was one of the most efficient freshman guards in the country last season. Richardson gradually took on more responsibility throughout the year. Really in his February stretch where he averaged 16 points a game and shot over 45% from three. I mean, ridiculous splits as a freshman playing in a big conference. His true shooting percentage of 62.4 is elite for a guard and speaks to his high basketball IQ. I mean, at that size, shooting that efficiently at the big level of college basketball that he played at is remarkable. I mean, he excels at playing under control. I mean, he rarely forces shots, and he understands how to manipulate space to get good looks. Now, while he's not a pass-first point guard, just 2 assists per game, he's also extremely careful with the ball, limiting turnovers, and really just playing within the flow of the offense. He plays really more like a 2, to be honest, which is a little bit of an issue considering his size. And so we don't really know what his fit would be with the Hawks specifically going forward, but the talent might just be too difficult to pass on. At 13, when you're a team like the Hawks, it's something where it's like, you have to take the best player available instead of just drafting for fit when you have the future outlook that the Hawks do. I mean, defensively, his size and athletic limitations do obviously raise questions. I mean, despite having a 6'6" wingspan, Richardson doesn't really project as a plus defender at the next level simply because of his length and his size. But his understanding of team concepts and spacing really might help him with that and become a solid defender in today's NBA. Now, ultimately, Richardson, as I said, is more of a combo guard who can space the floor and score efficiently. I mean, while the Hawks are potentially looking to add more guard depth, he could seriously help out with that, especially with some uncertainty around players like Kobe Buffkin and his development. Richardson could be a value add pick at either 13 or 22. It just depends on where he goes because we don't really know much about the end of lottery to the rest of the first round with this draft. It could go anywhere. I mean, we know like the 1, 2, 3, but after that, everything is up in the air. So now we're going to wrap up with a little bit of free agency talk. Myles Turner's name recently popped up in connection with the Hawks. Yes, Myles Turner, the center currently on the team in the NBA Finals. I mean, if we've learned anything from this season, it's that just because a player is a big part of your Finals core team, it doesn't mean they can't get traded mid-season the next year. Grant Afseth of RG Media reports that Atlanta is monitoring Myles Turner's situation closely in Indiana. The logic is sound. I mean, pairing, Dyson Daniels with an elite shot blocker like Turner, and this is what he said, it would allow Daniels to gamble more defensively while having backline protection. I mean, with Jalen Johnson returning and Reza Shea possibly taking a leap, Turner could help balance the floor on both ends. But here's the reality check. Turner is an unrestricted free agent, and the Hawks are limited to offering obviously the non-tax payers mid-level exception, which is up to $12.8 million. They can sign as many players as they want for up to $12.8 million total between all of them. I mean, Turner's current contract already pays him $20 million annually, and the Pacers are reportedly very willing to dip into the tax to retain him. So he's going to return to the Pacers. I'm going to immediately shut this down. I mean, I had followed up on that report yesterday. It's not going to happen. That plus, the presence of Onyeka Okongwu, who provides very similar production, honestly, maybe even better production at a much lower cost, makes this pursuit highly unlikely, and it might just be a ploy by his camp to, really put some pressure on Indiana to give him a good deal in the offseason. I mean, Turner also really just isn't a great rebounder for his position, and really considering his size. Well, he does offer better floor spacing, I guess, than Onyeka Okongwu. I mean, his numbers in general really just weren't that much better. And that's really all he does better than Onyeka. I mean, he's a better scorer, like, historically. However, Okongwu has been progressing every single season in every category, and he's expected to take another leap next season as the full-time starting center. So no, the Hawks are not getting Myles Turner, but it was very interesting to see his name pop up as one of Atlanta's targets, potentially. Now, I don't believe it's true, but that's kind of all there is with this Myles Turner drama. So this does feel like more due diligence on Atlanta's part than a realistic pursuit. So there you have it. I mean, it's been a busy 24 hours in Hawks news. The front office is, reloaded with two experienced voices, and the pre-draft process is ramping up as prospects like Asa Newell and Jace Richardson try to prove they belong in Atlanta through their pre-draft workouts and their overall tape. I mean, while Myles Turner rumors may be intriguing, financial and strategic realities make that obviously a long shot. So as always, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you like the direction the new front office is heading? What do you guys think about the new hires? Would you take Newell or Richardson at pick 13 or 22? Let me know what you guys think about them. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update here on Hawks Latest. Once again, I am Zach Langley, aka Langley ATL. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.